वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयौदीरयेत्। शृण्वन्ता स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनम् हृदयन्तस्तभद्राणि विदुनोति सुहृत्सताम्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। So today we will be serving Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam in chronological order from the Srila Prabhupada Gurudev ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai. In chronological order, we will be serving from 11th canto, chapter number 2 and verse number 1. So kindly repeat. Shri Sukha Vacha Govinda Bhuja Guptayam Dwaravatayam Kurudvaha Avatasin-narado abhikshanam Krishnopasna lalsaha. Shri Sukha Vacha Govinda Bhuja Guptaya Dwaravatayam Kurudvaha Avatsin-narado abhikshanam Krishna upasna lalsaha. हरे कृष्ण। भक्तों में से श्री सुत उवाच गोविंद उत्ताना द्वारस्वतां कुरुद्वः आवसिता नारदो अभीक्षणम् कृष्ण उपासना लालसा। श्री सुख उवाच गोविंद भुजगुप्तायां अवसित नारद अभीक्षणम् कृष्ण उपासना लालसा। माता जी कृष्ण वाचा Kindly repeat the word-to-word translation, the translation also. Sri Sukha Uvacha. Sri Sukha said, Govinda of Lord Govind, Bhuja by the arms, Guptayam protected, Dwaravatyam in the capital, Dwaravati, Kuru Udvaha, O best of the Kurus, Avatsit dwelled, Naradaha, Narad Muni, Abhikshnam, constantly, Krishna Upasna, to engage in the worship of Krishna. Lal Saha, who had great eagerness. Translation, kindly repeat after me. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, eager to engage in the worship of Lord Krishna, O best of the Kurus, Narad Muni stayed for some time in Dwarka, which was always protected by the arms of Govind. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki. In the second chapter of this canto, Bhagavad Dharma or pure devotional service to Krishna is explained by Narad Muni to Vasudeva, who had inquired with devotion. Narad Muni cites a conversation between King Nimi and the Jayantiyas. According to Jiva Goswami, the word Abhikshanam indicates that although Narad Muni was frequently sent by Lord Krishna here and there for various pastimes, such as inquiring about the affairs of the world, Narada continuously returned to reside in Dwarka. The word Krishna Upasna Lal Saha indicates that Narad was very eager to be near Krishna and worship him. Because of the curse of Daksha, Narad is never allowed to live continuously in one place. Sridhar Swami, however, has pointed out, Na tasyam shapadeha prabhavaha. In Dwarka, there is no influence of curses or other such evils because Dwarka is the abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and is always protected by His arms. As shown by the word Govinda Bhuja Guptayam, the conditioned souls are struggling with the kingdom of Maya against the cruel laws of material nature, such as birth, death, old age, and disease. But if such conditional souls have the good fortune to enter the city of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whether Dwarka, Mathura, or Vrindavan, and live there under the direct protection of the omnipotent arms of the Supreme Lord, Krishna, they will experience the unlimited transcendental bliss of life, which is eternal and which is meant to be lived in the personal company of God. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manoyabhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sarana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadadvetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitamscha. आराध्यो भगवान व्रजेश तनयस तद्धाम वृंदावनम रम्या काचिदुपासना व्रजवधुवर्गेण तया कल्पिता श्रीमद् भागवत पुराणमलम प्रेम पुमर्थो महान् श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभोर्मतैदं नायत्रयाग्रह परः नवनीरदनिन्दित कान्तिधरं रससागर नागर भूपवरं शुभवङ्किमचारु शिखण्ड शिखिं भज कृष्णानिधिं व्रजराजसुतं भज कृष्णानिधिं व्रजराजसुतं राधिका सरोजेन्दु निन्दिमुखमण्डली वन्दिये श्रीपादपद्म वृषभानु नन्दिनी वन्दिये श्रीपादपद्म वृषभानु नन्दिनी लोकाविरामं रणरणधीरं राजीवनेत्रं रघुवंशनाथं कारुण्यरूपं करुणाकरन्तं श्रीरामचन्द्रं वर्णं प्रपद्ये जनकसुतावर जगजननी जानकी अतिशय प्रिय करुणा निधान की मंगल भवन अमंगलहारी द्रवो सुदशरथ अजर विहारी आजानुलंबितो भुजो कनकायवधातो संकीर्तनै पितरवो कमलायताक्षो विश्वंभरो द्विजवरो युगधर्मपालो वंदे जगत प्रियकरो करुणा अवतारो पतित पावन निताय गौर सुंदर की ललिता विशाखा श्री श्री राधा रस बिहारी की सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जी की जय। His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya Acharya Guruvar Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So it is my great fortune that I am able to say or share some Krishna consciousness matter from Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam amongst all you esteemed devotees of ISKCON Juhu. A lot of senior Vaishnavas are present. I offer my obeisances to them and unto all the Brahmachari, Gana and all the assembled Vaishnavas in presence and also online. So I seek your blessings that whatever I speak will be pleasing to our Srila Prabhupada, to the audience, and also as it is, so that it pleases the entire Gaudiya Guru work. Hare Krishna. So, we are serving today Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam from 11th canto, chapter number 2, verse number 1, which is entitled Maharaj Nimi Meets the 9 or the Nava Yogendras. It's a very, very nice chapter, and this is the very first verse. But a little bit information about what this chapter is all about before we actually enter the actual verse. So, Naradji gives instructions on Bhagavad Dharma. What is Bhagavad Dharma? Bhagavad Dharma, even Prahlad Maharaj mentions, Kaumaram acharat pragya dharman bhagavad iha, dharman bhagavad iha, durlabham manushya deha tadapi arthadam adruvam. So Prahlad Maharaj says this Bhagavad Dharma should be taken up from the age of Kaumar. Kaumar means from the age of 4 or 5 years. One should take to this Bhagavad Dharma. Very important. If we want our Sanatan Dharma to continue nicely, then everybody has to wake up. Today we find that People are complaining that Sanatana Dharma is slowly going into oblivion and the other dharmas are taking over. They're increasing in quantity. But the fault is on us because we don't do any preaching except ISKCON is the only institution in this entire world that actually does this wonderful job of preaching. And in this ISKCON, this opportunity is given to everyone without caste, creed, background. Please come and listen to Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavatam that every day some speaker is speaking. It is not the credit of the speaker who is speaking. It is his divine grace. It is his books. We cannot take credit for any kind of erudite lecturing if we did not have Prabhupada and his books, then we are nothing. Janmana jayate shudra sanskarat bhavati dvija. We are all born as ignorant, or that is in Sanskrit known as Shudras. But through sanskar, we become dvija. Dvija means twice born. We are reborn. Spiritual birth we take. So we awaken ourselves, all of us, and understand the Vedic subject matters, which is real science, Vigyan. What is Vigyan? Vishesha Gyan iti Vigyan. What is Vishesh Gyan? What is what Bhagavad-gita is giving us. I am not this body, I am a spirit soul, I am an eternal servant of Krishna. Jiver Swarupoy, Krishner Nitya Das. That is our real identity, that is spiritual science, and that is the fundamentals. That is spiritual, that is Vigyan. Not what we study in school, colleges, where physics, chemistry, biology. That is the secondary meaning of Vigyan. Vigyan means Vishesh Gyan, topmost knowledge, which unfortunately the modern school, colleges and universities are not talking about. And that is why ISKCON is giving this opportunity to everyone. Please come. Every day, regardless of which center it is, at about 8 a.m. there is Srimad Bhagavatam class. Evening, in most centers, there is Bhagavad-gita class. Take full advantage and pass it on. Kaumaram to your children, to your grandchildren. Otherwise, history repeats. Just like several hundred years ago, the Mughals came, invaded India, and most of the people who have converted to Islam, they don't know they were all Sanatan Dharmis. Then the English came and then broke the backbone of the Indian culture based on dharma by dividing us. So they knew that they could not succeed in India unless and until they did something, and it is so true. This servant studied in Mumbai, in one of the topmost convent schools. And our English papers used to go to Oxford. They came from Oxford. At that time, there was no ICSE, it was ISC. And at that time, we had all these historians who wrote books about India. Pharaoh, English historian. They changed everything. They called Ramayana, Mahabharata, mythology, myth. Myth in Latin means imaginary. So they called that imaginary. I still remember that's how they taught us. And even today, the historians who follow in their footsteps of the English, what do they know about our culture? What do they know? They all know about our Vedic culture. So it is extremely important that we take this Kaumaram Acharat Pragya Dharman Bhagavatiya. This Bhagavad Dharma should be taken right from that age so that they were trained. And Srila Prabhupada said, the success of human life is that at the time of death, if we are able to remember Krishna. So we should all practice. Even those who are already practicing, just think about this. That when we sleep at night, do we dream every day about Krishna or Krishna's pastimes? Based on our past karma, based on our past lives, many things come in our dreams. And at that time, if we happen to leave our body, what will happen? What is our gati? Yam yam vapi smaranam bhavam tajeti ante kalevaram. So this is a big red flag even for practicing Vaishnavas, devotees. That is why if we practice very nicely, if we chant the holy names very nicely, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This practice has to come from that age, but whenever we join, make this very serious. Then even if we, by some chance we are diseased or we have a problem, then Krishna is so kind that he will take over at that time because we deserve that. Tatya anuvamkam susikshamana bhunjana eva atmakrita vikam. Those who are with their bodies, mind and souls, they dedicate their lives to Krishna. Then in that verse, it is said in the end, Sadaya bhak. Certainly they will get the mercy of Krishna. Just like children, they receive, Prabhupada writes in their purport, they receive the inheritance from their parents and it is their rightful claim. It is their rightful claim to receive the assets of the parents. It is passed on to them. Similarly, it is the rightful claim of the devotee who has practiced Krishna consciousness very nicely, although we may not be perfectly situated, which in Mukundmala Stotra, King Kulashekar says that now I am very healthy. Please let me always think of you, your lotus feet, and let me entangle my mind just like a swan entangles in a lotus. So similarly, because at the time when I get old, kapha pitta vayu, I will be engrossed with so many different bodily disease that it will be difficult to think of you. So this is a very serious subject matter that His Divine Grace always wanted to give us. Krishna can't give to all. And therefore I say that, ISKCON is the amazing institution in this entire world that is preaching this. And if we are not serious, what kind of a legacy we will leave behind for our children? 20 years, 30 years down the road, things will become very different. Again, if a particular dharma starts increasing of faith, then we will be forced to be converted into that. And this is already happening now. Because we don't understand this is real Vigyan, real science, what we have. And if we don't take to it, and we think it is some sentimental hodgepodge khichdi, then it is our misfortune. But this is the most sublime science. So Naradji gives instructions to Nimi Maharaj on Bhagavad Dharma. Dharman Bhagavate. Why? Durlabham Manushade. Because this human form of life is extremely, extremely rare. Not guaranteed next life is human. If we have taken to some bhakti, neha vikramana suvasti pratyavayana vidyate swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayato mahato bhayat. Krishna says in the Bhagavad-gita. So then somehow or the other we will be saved and we will get a human form of life. But then what is the guarantee? If we don't do satsang and if we do kusang, then again we will slide down to the hellish planets. And then there is no guarantee that we will get a human form after going through the transmigration process of 8,400,000 species of lives, 84 lakh yoni, then we will get the human form of life. So this is a very subject. Those who are serious will take it seriously. So in this conversation, King Nimi, and there's a conversation also that Naradji is mentioning between King Nimi and the Navayogendras. Who are the Navayogendras? They were son of Rishabdev. Rishabdev is an incarnation of the Supreme Lord. And actually, he comes in the line of Swayambhu Manu, son was Priyavrata, Priyavrata's son was Agnidra, Agnidra's son was Nabhi, Nabhi's son was Rishabdev, and Rishabdev had 100 sons, and one of the most prominent is Bharat, from whose name the India was known as Bharat. Previously, it used to be called Ajanabha Varsha. This earthly planet, Prabhupada mentions, was called Ajanabha Varsha. Ajanabha Varsha. But from the son, the most wonderful transcendental son of Rishabdev, it was known as Bharata. It is due to King Bharat, the son of Rishabdev. And Rishabdev's, out of the 109 sons, they were known as the Navayogendras. And the names of them are as Kavi, Havir, Antariksha, Prabuddha, Piplyana, Avirortra, Drumil, Chamsa, and Karbhajan. So they were the 9 sons of the Navayogendras. And then Rishabdev had the other 9 sons. became Kshatriyas and 81 sons became Brahmanas. So he gives some wonderful instructions to all his 100 sons. One famous instruction is Nayo Deham Deho Bhajat, that this body is not meant for sense gratification. If we are taking Vishta, sense gratification is like Vishta, stool. So like that he gives instructions to them. King Nimi inquired about Bhagavad Dharma from them. And pure devotional service to the Lord is the only means of ultimate good fortune for the soul. What does Srimad Bhagavatam say in the second chapter of the first canto? Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adhokshaje. And what kind of bhakti should be? Ahaituki apratiyata jena atma suprasidhati. It has to be ahaituki, not without any material motivation. Material motivation means when we sing songs in most of the Hindu temples, Om Jai Jagadisha Hare, Ghar Dhana Aave, Sukh Sampati Aave, America Jave, Dollar Kamave, Rupya Dhan Kamave, Jai Jagadisha Hare. No, that is what not Bhagavad Dharma. Unfortunately, people don't think. At the end, it says, Kahe Shivananda Swami. Some Mayavadi has composed this and it is sung everywhere in the Hindu temples without understanding that this is not Shuddha Bhakti. Shuddha Bhakti is what Naradji has said in the Narad Bhakti Sutra, which Srila Rupa Goswami took into Bhakti Rasam Sindhu. What is that? Anya Vilasida Shunya, zero. Jnana Karma Anavritam. Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam Tad Bhakti Ruttam. One should not even aspire for Gyan, for karma. We take that to a certain extent, and then once we enter into bhakti, we leave that behind. We don't want to become Gyanis or Karmis. Although in the Bhagavad-gita, Krishna is talking about that. But Arjun finally fought on the basis of bhakti, because it was the desire. Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. The Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam means whatever Krishna wants, we should do. Now for us, we may ask, what does Krishna want from us? Very clearly, Prabhupada has given everything in Srimad Bhagavatam, in his Bhaktivedanta purports, in his Bhagavad-gita, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, instruction, and the Varishta Vaishnavas give us those instructions. Arjuna was lucky that directly he heard from Krishna. But Krishna, out of his mercy, Kripa Leela, left Bhagavad-gita for us. Srimad Bhagavatam is none other than Sri Krishna. It has been converted, parivartate. So, we are very fortunate like that. So, we should take to this process. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radokshacha ahaituki apratiyata. And it should be without material motivation and uninterrupted. Not that we have problems in our life, then we start coming to Radha-Rasa-Vihari more and more. And when the problems disappear, okay, Prabhu, we'll see you on Janmashtami. No, Prabhu, please come. Devotees are always calling, encouraging. But Prabhu ji, आज क्या है ना, ओवर टाइम है, आज बिजनेस में, आज वहाँ जाना है, उधर जाना है. We have to take child to the football practice. We have to take child to karate. Always we have to go to this party, that party. But they will not come to temple because problem is solved. Temporary problem has been resolved. काम हो गया, अभी कृष्णा आपकी जरूरत नहीं है. So that should be apratiyata. Apratiyata means uninterrupted. चाहे सुख में दुख में. What does Bhaktivinoda Thakur say in that bhajan? Gaye Gora Madhurasware. He says that Sukhe Dukhe Bhulo Nako Vadane Hari Naam Karore. Gaye Gora Madhurasware. So like this we find that the Supreme Lord being so pleased when we take to Bhagavad Dharma, by such service, he offers his own self to the devotee. Srila Prabhupada writes that. He offers his own self to the devotee. In which kind of bhakti? Here basically we are talking about that bhakti of Krishna. Only Krishna has that capability to offer himself to the devotee. He reciprocates. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sattadeva bhajami. No other personality can really do as much as Krishna can do in terms of reciprocation. So, like for example, Arjun, Yudhishthir, Sudama, he served them. The gopis of Vrindavan, he served them. There is a nice bhajan by Surdas. What does he say? Surdas says in that bhajan, Sabse unchi prema sagai. The highest relationship is Krishna prem. And in that bhajan he says, Rajasuya yagya Yudhishthir kino tame jhootha uthai. Yudhishthir Maharaj, when he conducted the Rajasuya yagya, Lakhs of people came, ministers, small kings, big kings, because he was a Chakravarti Raja. So under him there were many kings and there were many ministers and many subjects. They used to come and they took the Raja, and Krishna personally took their dirty Jutha plates. Rajasuya Yagya Yudhishthir Kino Tama Jutha Uthai. Prem ke basa Parath Rata Hakyo. Out of love, he became a menial servant of Arjun and he became the driver, the Sarthi of his Rath. Prem ke bas Parath Rata Hakyo. Bhool gaye Thakurai. He forgot that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Surdas has written this very wonderfully. It kind of, is related to this particular subject matter about Bhagavad Dharma. ऐसी प्रीति बड़ी वृंदावन गोपियां न नाच नचाई. Gopi ne naach nachai. Krishna, dance for us and we will give you some chas. We will give you buttermilk. Krishna, you dance for us and we will give you some makhan. So, especially, we find that in Vaikuntha and even Dwarka and Mathura, in the spiritual planets, Krishna is known as Bhakta Vatsal. But in Vrindavan, in particular, he is known as Bhakta Vashya, one who is completely controlled by his devotees. That is Bhagavad Dharma. This is the reward of Bhagavad Dharma. Nanda Baba says, Beta, I am very tired. Kana, can you get my shoes? He will simply go. Small, 2.5-year-old boy, Krishna, takes the big padukas of Nanda Maharaj, carries it on his head, and he brings it to Nanda Maharaj. So that is what it is. Aisi Preeti Badi Vrindavan. Vrindavan is the highest place where and that is what Mahaprabhu wants. That is what our Gaudiya Vaishnavas are teaching us. Vrindavan. Aradhya Bhagavan of Rajesh Tanayas Tad Dham of Vrindavan. Out of so many dhams, but for us Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we worship Vrajendra Nandan, the son of Nanda Maharaj. That is our ultimate goal. And the goal is in Vrindavan, like Prabhupada mentions further in this purport. Here it is said that Sukdev Goswami said, Govinda Bhuja, these dhams are always protected by Guptayam. The word Guptayam is used. Guptayam means to protect. The dham is always protected. So similarly, Dwarka was protected by Sri Krishna. And Avatsita Naradaha Abhikshanam. Very important word Srila Prabhupada has mentioned that Naradji went there. According to Jiva Goswami, he has quoted Jiva Goswami that the word Abhikshanam, it means that it indicates that Naradji was frequently sent here and there. Idhar udhar, bhago, do preaching. Naradji. He is sent by Krishna himself, by Narayan. Go here, go there, preach. Frequently sent by the Lord here and there for various pastimes. He's been sent. That is what pure devotees do. What do the gopis say? In the Gopi-Gita in the 9th verse, Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam Kaviviriditam Kalmashapaham Shravana Mangalam Srimad-atatam Bhuvi Grinanti Je Bhuridajana Bhuvi Grinanti Je Bhuridajana Bhuvi Grinanti Je Bhuridajana. They go here and there simply preaching. That's what our divine grace. This actually verse my Guru Maharaj mentioned one time when he was giving the explanation that the gopis, the last time they sang Gopi Gita was about 5,000 years ago. And in Gopi, because this is a repetition, it is not that Bhagavatam was just as a side note, was just compiled 5,000 years ago. No, it is eternal. But Vyasadeva manifested it in the heart of Naradji. Again, just like Yogam Tashta Param Tapa, I'm speaking this Bhagavad Gita to you again. I had already spoken it millions of years ago to Vivaswan, to the sun god. But because you are my dear friend, you are my devotee, I'm speaking this to you again. In Bhagavad Gita 4th chapter, Krishna mentions that. I'm speaking this to you. Similarly, out of compassion, Naradji speaks this transfers the Bhagavatam from his heart to Vyasadeva. That's why he was completely satisfied, Vyasadeva. So, they go around, like Srila Prabhupada goes around. Otherwise, why will he leave the comfort of Vrindavan? Most of us, we think that we should go and build a kutia there, a hut in Vrindavan and spend the rest of our lives. That is Bhajan Anandi. But there is something that is higher than Bhajan Anandi, which is known as Goshti Anandi. Srila Prabhupada is not only, unless and until one becomes a Bhajan Anandi, then he can become Goshti Anandi. But Prabhupada did not stop at Bhajan Anandi. Prahlad Maharaj says that there are so many devotees who go and sit in the different caves of the Himalayas, in the forest, and do tapasya. And when they leave their bodies, they are perfect. They are situated nicely, and they go home back to Godhead. But there are devotees who go from the different places all over the world. Bhuri giranti je bhuri dajana. They go, and they are Goshti Anandis. Goshti Anandis' position is higher than Bhajan Anandis, because they don't care about themselves. They care about the others. And that is what the perfect example is of Srila Prabhupada. Nothing he had. He begged for a ticket, sat on the whole month here in Mumbai, on the steps of Sandhya Shipping Corporation. And when Mrs. Sumati Moraji, Jai SriSriRadhaRasbihariTemple, Sitaram Lakshman Hanumanji Maharaj ki jai, Sri Patita Pavan Nitai Gaur Sundar ki jai. He begged, please. When Mrs. Sumati Moraji finally saw him, yes, Swamiji, what can I do for you? My Guru Maharaj instructed me that I should go to instruct in English Bhagavad Dharma. We are talking about Bhagavad Dharma. This is the same thing. Prabhupada told her that. So please give me. I don't have any cruise lines. These are all cargo ships. It's not very comfortable. Swamiji, with your age, advanced age, I cannot take that risk. Sorry. And Prabhupada pleaded, please, you are a Vaishnavi. She was in the Pushti Marg, follower of Vallabh Sampradaya. So he begged, please, you understand the Agya of the Guru, the order of the Guru. And finally she agreed, and then gave him a small place in the entire cargo ship on Jaldut, where she even managed to give him fruits and vegetables for the 40-day or 45-day journey to the United States. That is compassion. And that is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when King Prataprudra sang Gopi Geet, Mahaprabhu was not ready to see King Prataprudra, because he was the perfect example of a sannyasi. Sannyasis and brahmacharis should be extremely careful here. Bhalona peribe, bhalona khaibe, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has perfectly instructed, and he followed. He followed those instructions. So he said, no, I don't want to see any king. And although he knew, because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is a pure devotee, King Prataprudra. But to set an example to the society that I am a sannyasi, I should not go to Vishayi people. A king is considered one who is always engrossed in sense gratification. So I will not see him. And King Prataprudra wanted to give up his body. He said, Mahaprabhu is keeping me bereft. मुझे वंचित कर दिया दर्शन से उनके. क्या काम है मेरे इस जीवन का? What is the use of my body? So then, at that time, the associates of Mahaprabhu, they said, be patient. And they tried to convince Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu said, no, if you keep talking about this, seeing King Prataprudra, I will leave Jagannath Puri and go away. So everybody was silent. And finally, on Rath Yatra time, they advised King Prataprudra, you wear normal menial clothes, and Mahaprabhu will be resting in Balgandi. There is a place in Jagannath Puri, there is a garden. Halfway through the Rath Yatra, Mahaprabhu stops and he takes a little rest. Because Mahaprabhu is Gaura Nataraj. He would dance so much. So little rest. Past time he was and he says, when he rests, you go and massage his lotus feet and sing Gopi Geet. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he heard this verse, Tava Katha Amritam, Bhuvi Gridanti Je Bhuri Dajana, the last line, at that time, immediately Mahaprabhu got up and he gave him a nice alingan, a nice hug, and tears were flowing from Mahaprabhu's eyes and also from King Prataprudra. Bhuvi Gridanti Je Bhuri, and Mahaprabhu repeated this, Bhuvi Gridanti Je Bhuri Dajana. Bhuvi means the entire world. Gridanti means to go around. And Bhuri Da, very important one. Just like the word Namo Mahavadanyaya, Krishna Prema Pradayate, most magnanimous. Bhurida means also the same. Bhurida means extreme, and Da means Dan. So one who gives the extreme charity is indeed the highest benefactor of mankind. He is the highest benefit, who gives the most benefit. That is the kind of Dan. So similarly, Naradji goes there. That is the glories of Naradji. Naradji is not ordinary. some of the filmmakers in our childhood we saw, they used to make fun of him. That character Jivan used to play Naradji. And he was shown as such a dubious character, Naradji. But no, they don't know. Naradji is the great guru of who? Vyasdev. He is the guru of Dhruv Maharaj. He is the guru of Prahlad Maharaj. He is the guru of Valmiki. Like that, he is such a great, and he is the second Acharya in our Brahma Madhya Gaudiya Sampradaya, Naradji. Krishna first initiated Lord Brahma. And then Brahmaji initiated Naradji, Naradji initiated Vyasdev, and like that, in 32nd in that line is His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. So Naradji is not an ordinary personality. We should be very fortunate someday if we can have his darshan. He can suddenly appear. He is unrestricted. Even he can enter into the inner chambers of Krishna without permission. Nobody stops him and he is most welcome. That is his position. And he is also welcomed by all the asuras because he is non-envious. Similarly, our 6 Goswamis. Srinivas Acharya wrote the Sada Goswami Astakam, and he says that Dhira Dhira Jana Priya Karo Nirmat Saro Pujito Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghujugo Sri Jiva Gopalago. Dhira means good people, those who are suras, like devtas. Adhir means rascals. Adhir means demons. Dhira Dhira Jana Priya Karo. Both are favorable to Naradji and to the 6 Goswamis, as an example. Why? Because they have the highest quality. Nirmatsara Pujito. They are completely non-envious. Nirmatsara. We all have little envy in us unless and until we are 100% purified. Some of us have envy like a little mustard seed. राई के दाना जैसा हमारे में अंदर द्वेष है, jealousy है. और किसी में फुटबॉल के जैसा है द्वेष. Envy. It is that. The moment that envy feature goes around, Nirmatsara Pujito. What is that verse in Srimad Bhagavatam? First canto, first chapter, second verse. Dharma Projita Kaita Vatra Parmo Nirmasaranam Satam. Nirmasaranam Satam. So those who are Nirmasaram, they can really relish Srimad Bhagavatam. That is the quality. Of course, Srimad Bhagavatam is meant for everyone, for that purification, so that it can come. We can come to that platform. So Naradji is such an amazing, and the word Krishna Upasana Lalsaha indicates that he was very eager. This is a very important thing, very eager to stay near Krishna. When Krishna decided finally to wind up his pastimes, the last destination before Prabhat Kshetra was Dwarka. So he was so eager that he wanted to worship. But there was a curse. Daksha had cursed Naradji that you will never be allowed to live continuously in one place. So Siddhar Swami has commented, Srila Prabhupada was so fond of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Srila Siddhar Swami. This is a very good example that we should never speculate. Many, many places Srila Prabhupada has said, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says this, Srila Siddhar Swami says this. So this is very important. Yatharup, whatever we do, it should no speculation. That is why we should quote Srila Prabhupada, we should quote our acharyas, especially when we are given this benefit of preaching to others. No manoratha, no imaginary world, no. When Srila Prabhupada came to India, one time he met at the Prime Minister at that time, Mrs. Indira Gandhi. And Mrs. Indira Gandhi, praised Srila Prabhupada that you have done wonderful, Swamiji. You have spread the name of Krishna, Bhagavad-gita all over the world. And you know what Prabhupada said? Prabhupada said, I have simply repeated, the only credit is repeated the words of our Guru Maharaj. That is our only credit. Otherwise, we have no credit. And that's the first thing I said when we started the class, that we have no credit, even one who sits here. No, the credit goes to His Divine Grace and the Varishta Vaishnavas from whom we hear and we repeat as it is. So Krishna Upasana Lalsaha, he was very eager. And then Sridhar Swami says that na tasyam shapadehe prabhava. Shrap, the curses, they do not work in the dham. Why? Sridhar Swami has wonderfully said this. It is not because it is always protected by Krishna's arms. In this verse, Govinda Bhuja Guptayam. Krishna always protects the dham. Krishna always protects his devotees. So the conditioned souls, Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport, are always struggling within this kingdom of Maya. Janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha dosha anudarshanam. That is the quality that one should see the fault in it. Supposing if I am going to sit on a chair and if just about to sit, somebody says, Prabhu, don't sit. The leg is shaky or it's broken. So that dukkha dosha anudarshanam, in this example, that person has seen anudarshanam, that there is a fault in the chair. Please take another chair. So therefore Krishna himself is saying that we have to say dukkha dosha anudarshanam. It's a dosh, it's a problem. Janma mrityu jara and vyadi. Janam means birth, mrityu means death, and in between birth and death there is diseases and there is old age. There is nobody can escape this. Not in this Brahman, in the 14 planets, not even in the heavenly planets. There are 6 heavenly planets, 7 hellish planets, and in between there is earth, which is known as Chauda Bhuvan. So we cannot escape that. Janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha dosha anudarshanam. But if such conditioned souls have the good fortune, Prabhupada says, to enter the dham, to stay in the dham, and Prabhupada gives, then they are under the protection, like Dwarka, Mathura, Vrindavan, then they are under the protection of Krishna. Then no curses, no karma will really work if one is very sincere. What is that verse in the Brahma Samhita? Ya chakshuresha savita sakala grihanam raja samasta sura murtir asesha tejaha yasya brahmita sambrita kala chakro. So there might be so many planets that are affecting due to our past karma. कोई कहता है मुझे मंगल की दशा है, कोई कहता है शनि की दशा है. Some say that I have this problem because Mangal, Rahu, Ketu, all these planets are creating problems. But what does Krishna say? Yasya, what does Brahmaji say? Yasya agya. They work according to your order. Brahmati sambrita kala chakro. And then they rotate. So Krishna can kick out all those bad planets in the life of the devotee. But if we are sincere, Shadanga Sharanagati hoi bejar tar prarthna sunes Rajendra Kumar. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Sharanagati says that once we are fully surrendered with the 6 limbs, Dainya, Atma Nivedan, Goptrite Varan, Avasya Rakshive Krishna, Vishwas Palan, Bhakti Anukul Karya Kare Jo Svikar, Bhakti Pratikul Bhav Varjan Angikar. 6 limbs. Humility, full surrender, self-surrender. Dainya, Atma Nivedan, Goptrite Varan, Krishna is my provider. Not my money, roti, kapda, makan. Even the richest person should not be so puffed up that, when I came to Mumbai or when I came to New York, I only had $50 in my pocket. And now I have such a big business I have built. People say that all the time. But it is the mercy of Krishna. But a devotee, even if he has millions of dollars or rupees, crores of rupees, will say this is mercy of Krishna. That is called Gopta. Tumi to Gopta Jagannath. Gopta, Avasya Rakshive Krishna Vishwas Palan. I have full faith that Krishna will certainly protect me, like Prahlad Maharaj. Full faith. Bhakti Anukul Karya Kare Jo Svikar. This is from Hari Bhakti Vilas that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has taken into Sharanagati's introductory song. Whatever is good for bhakti, we should accept. And 6th one, Bhakti Pratikul Bhav Varjan Angikar. We should reject everything that is not good for our bhakti. So when we have this Shadanga Sharanagati with all the 6 branches of Sharanagati, Tar Prarthna Sune Vrajendra Kumar. He must listen at that time. Sometimes we think, no, devotees are praying for certain things. Why Krishna is not fulfilling my desire? But then we have to ask a counter question. Am I Shadanga Sharanagati? So the process of Sharanagati means that we have to full surrender. And the meaning of Sharanagati, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has nicely said, everybody takes sharan of the Lord, whether they are Hindus, Sanatan Dharmis, following Islam, following the Jewish Dharma, or Christianity, or whatever the Dharma is, they take some shelter. But Sharanagati, by definition of Gaudiya Vaishnavis, it is Sandhi Vichhed. You separate those words. Sharan plus Agati. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Sharan means full shelter. But not only that, Agati. Agati does not mean that if we take shelter of Krishna, we will fall down. No. Here the word Agati means Gati means movement and agati means no movement. Which is the bhava of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ashlishapadaratam pinashtumam darshanam marmahatam karotva yatha tatha va vidato lampato mat prana nathasya vanapara. Whether you kick me or embrace me, you are my Lord, birth after birth after birth. Mat prana natha. So that is Sharanagati. That I will catch your lotus feet, Krishna, like the Himalaya mountain. Can you push that mountain? Huh? That is agati. No movement. Whether you kick me or embrace me, whether you keep me in good times or bad times, I will never leave your lotus feet. I will stay at your lotus feet like a big rock, like a big mountain. I am not moving. I am not going anywhere. That is the highest definition of Sharanagati, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave, and that is what we are. So we have to, Narottam Das Thakur also says, talking about living in the Dham, he has in his Prarthana, Bhajan Lalsa says, Gauranga bolite habe pulaka sharira Hari Hari bolite nayane bahe nira Vishaya chadiya kabe shuddha habe man kabe ami heribo Shri Vrindavana. So when will the day come when I will give up all this nonsense, sense gratification, and I will be able to go and really see Vrindavan? Right now we go to Vrindavan, but what do we see? We see kuda, kachra, we see the nice aloo tikki and lassi in Bake Bihari Gali. All these things we see. That is order. But no, that is not real Vrindavan. Chintamani prakara sadmasu, even today, Chintamani prakara sadmasu kalpa vriksha lakshat vriksha survi ravir pale. All these pastimes are visible to those devotees who are fully surrendered. They can see that. Dham is covered. So we have to purify ourselves. Dharmasya tatta nihitam guyam mahajana jena kathasya pantha. We have to follow in the footsteps of those Vaishnavas. And they will experience this. Sachidanand Prabhupada said that they will experience complete bliss, meant to be lived in the personal company of God. Very important sentence. Personal company. So basically our dharma of Vaishnavism is personalism. Even in this verse, how does it start? Sri Sukha Uvacha. So Sukadeva Goswami said, in Bhagavad-gita so many times it says Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. So the Mayavadis, they also speak on Bhagavad-gita. They are speculating that Bhagavan is, I am that Bhagavan. That Bhagavan, I am that Atma who is saying these instructions. When I get into that highest bliss of Sachidananda Rupam Shivoham, I am Bhagavan. Main hi wo hu, so aham. So they imagine like that and they think that, they give different interpretations of Bhagavad Gita. Like this. So no. But Srila Prabhupada says personal. What is so difficult to understand when Bhagavan Uvacha means the Supreme Personality of Lord is speaking. So here it is meant to be lived in the personal company. That means entering Vrindavan Dham. And when we attain our highest perfection, entering Golok Vrindavan. Personal company of the Lord. Very important. I like this line the most in Srila Prabhupada's purport. Personal company of the Lord. Personalism. Not some imaginary light, Prakash, Om, and you're imagining. Please imagine nicely, now you are entering into Brahman. Sarvamidam Khalo Brahman. They try to give this interpretation that we are all Brahman. You don't know your God. Arey Baba, you are also God. You are God. You are God. You all are God. It's a matter of time. We are all one. Then if we are one, then who will serve each other? Nobody. Mayavadi is Kamchor. They don't want to serve. That is why they have this concept. But if we are Das, Anudas, then we will do some service. Yes, Prabhu, you are thirsty. Can I get you some water? Can I get you some prasadam? And out of that reciprocation, both get some bliss. So we are Dasa. If the Mayavadi says, you don't know, you are all God, that sounds very nice. Thousands of people are listening, Arey Baba, hum sab Bhagwan hai. But a Vaishnava is saying, no, Jivar Swarupai Krishna, Nitya Das. Eternally you are servant. Here in this material world, and even when you go there, into Vaikuntha or the other spiritual planets, you will always remain Das. Now that doesn't sound very nice. It is better to take to the Mayavadi philosophy, because I want to become God. Mahaprabhu says, Mayavadi bhasya sunile hoy sarvanas. So like this, our goal is to serve Krishna. Shri Akantaha Kantaha Parama Purusha Kalpataravo Dhruma Bhumis Chintamani. Like that, that is Golok. Shri Akantaha Kantaha Parama Purusha Kalpataravo Dhruma Bhumis Chintamani Ganamai Toyam Amruta Katha Ganam Natyam Gamana Picha Vamshi Priya Sakhi Chidananda Jyoti Paramapi Tada Swadhyamapi Cha Sayatra Shirabdihi Surabhibhyascha Sumahan Nimeshardha Kyova Prajatihi Nayatrapi Samaya Bhaje Shweta Deepam Tamaham Iha Golokam Itiyam Vidantaste Santaha Shiti Virala Charaha Katipahe. Personal company of God. What does God do? Here is Krishna playing the flute, attending to so many Surbi cows. So many Lakshmis or Gopis are serving him. That is, when he walks, when the residents of Golok walk, it looks like they are dancing. And when they are speaking, it is like a song. But time comes to standstill. That is Golok. I like this so much that I have called this our national anthem, Gaudiya Vaishnavas. What is the national anthem? That is the glories of the country, of our land. So this is our land, Golok Vrindavan, where nicely Brahma Samhita 56th verse has described what that land is like. We describe India's Janagana Mana Adhinayaka Jayaka Jaya Bharat Bhagya Vidata, etc. So when we sing that national anthem, we are singing the glories of that land or India in Janagana Mana. This song is the glories of Golok Vrindavan. That is for us, Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Vidantaste Santa Shidi Virala Charaka Katipaye. Not even for a moment. Bhaje Shweta Deepa. Shwet Deep means Golok Vrindavan. Shweta Deepam Tamahamiha. Golokamitiyam. Vidantaste Santa Shidi Virala Charaka Katipaye. So the true devotees, they worship that. Like this. So thank you so much for patiently listening to this particular 11th canto, second chapter, first verse, which is kind of the introduction of Bhagavad Dharma, and how Naradji is so attracted that he comes back. Wherever he goes, he comes back with Dharka, because he knows Krishna is there and his association. And going to Vrindavan. This is the most important thing. Aradhya Bhagwan Vrajeshatan is Tat Dham Vrindavan. There are many, many types of supreme personalities of Godhead. But we are concerned, Prabhupada said, with Vrajeshatanayas. Vrajesh means Vraj Ishwar Iti Vrajesh. Who is that Vrajesh? Vrajesh is Nanda Maharaj. Tanaya means the son of Nanda Maharaj. And out of so many dhams, this is in Chaitanya Manjusha. This particular, that Prabhupada used to recite this, Aradhya Bhagwan Vrajesh Tanayas, Tad Dham Vrindavanam. And among so many dhams, for us Gaudiya Vaishnavas, is Vrindavanam. Ramya Kachi Dupasna Vrajavadu Vargena. And we have to follow in the footsteps of the Vrajavadus. Vrajavadus means the gopis of Vrindavan, serving in Vrindavan. And especially Madhurya Rasa. That is our goal. That is our prayojan. And out of so many books, Shastras, what is that? Srimad Bhagavata Purana Malam Prema Pumartho Mahan. Srimad Bhagavatam will give us Prem, Krishna Prem, Pumartho Mahan, the highest destination, which is Vrindavan, Pumartho Mahan. And it is not my opinion. He is saying, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Mata Idam Na Yatra Agrapara. It is the opinion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So there is no need for any other speculation, no need for any other subject matters. That's it. This is it. So we have to stay focused. So we are so fortunate that Divine Grace has given us this opportunity. And I thank so much His Grace, Brajhari Prabhu, Hemgiri Prabhu, and the management of ISKCON Juhu to give me this opportunity to say a few words, and to all the devotees who have been patiently listening. So if there is any mistakes, please forgive me. So any questions, corrections or comments, we can take it. Or if we don't have time, then we can end it here. You can personally approach me. So Yes, maybe one question we can take, if it's okay, Prabhuji. One question, yeah. Any questions? किसी का कोई प्रश्न है? Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, right here. Please state your name.
It's Hari Narayan Das, Prabhuji.
Hari Narayan Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Please, thank you for the nice class. Especially the last national anthem was the best thing. Like our national anthem is this. So, Prabhuji, you mentioned that we have to practice that at the end we should remember Krishna.
Yes.
Ante Narayana Smriti.
Yes.
So, can you elaborate how we can do it? Like how it can be achieved?
Yeah. From Kaumaram Acharat Pragya, taking it from, but if we have joined at a later age, all right. What did Prabhupada said? How many rounds we must chant? Minimum?
16.
Wrong. Minimum 16 good rounds, Prabhupada said. So the problem lies in that word good. We don't chant minimum 16 good rounds. If we do that, follow the 4 regulative principles, like what Mahaprabhu's instructions are, associate with devotees, chant the holy names, go to the tirthas, go to the different holy places. Archa Vigraha, one should perform in your own home if you're a grihastha, a deity seva. And like that, if we follow this process throughout our life, at the end, we will definitely be able to remember Krishna. And for some reason, as I said in the beginning, if we are sick or something happens, even in coma, I'll tell you one very thing very quickly. There was one devotee in Toronto when we were there. He had 3 brain surgeries. Young boy, 30 years old. 2 little sweet daughters. And very enthusiastic. He used to come, do kirtan. He always had a pair of kartals in his pocket. And anytime kirtan came, he started playing kartal very nicely. Now he was in the hospital. 3 surgeries. Finally, he lapsed into coma. Now, his wife one day called us at 2 a.m. in the morning. That Prabhuji, my Prabhuji is leaving. He's breathing very heavily. Can you come quickly? So we rushed to the hospital. And he was still breathing very heavily, taking heavy breaths. So, you know, I took the Bhagavatam with me. I started reading Bhishma Stava. And I started reciting Gopi Geet. And started reciting Mahamantra. And even some verses of Bhagavad-gita. And at that time, although he was in coma, we literally saw that tears were flowing from his eyes. So somebody in coma. So we can see that Krishna is acting within his heart because he was a good devotee. You know, at that time, and although he was in coma, that subtle level, sukshma, consciousness was still there. And he was remembering Krishna. And then he passed away. He left his body. So his death was glorious. So that is why we say, some people say, I will do alone bhajan. I will chant 3 lakh names like Haridas Thakur. All that is bogus. We need to stay in the association of devotees. This is our real family. So when we are leaving our body, somebody other, Krishna will send to chant the holy names, to put Tulsi Dal in our mouth, put Radha Kund water, apply Raj on our forehead. So then, although we are not able to completely, kind of like right now we are healthy, we can chant nicely, we are not able to chant at that time, Krishna will take care of us. What is that in that last line? In that bhajan, itna to karna swami, jab pran tan se nikle. Kuch aapki faraj hai, ye nekasi arji hai, jab pran tan se nikle. So when I leave my body at that time, please, let me be in remembrance of you. And actually this song, whoever wrote it, we don't know who the author is. It is Bhishma Dev. At that time, it is the bhav of Bhishma Dev, that when I am leaving, so Krishna is there, surrounded by the Pandavas, etc. And then he's wonderful. He speaks Bhishma Stav in first canto, 8th chapter. Right, Maharaj? Bhishma Stav? 9th chapter. 8th chapter is Kunti Stava. Okay. 9th chapter. And then he leaves his body. So, if we are very serious, Krishna is in our heart. He knows. So if there is some problem, yoga kshemam vahamiham. That verse of Bhagavad-gita, that I will take care what you lack and I will preserve what you have. So we have to have that full faith. But that doesn't mean that we take this Krishna consciousness callously. Oh, now I am initiated. So now I am already Indra. No. What does initiation means? Beginning. Some have this attitude. Once they get initiated, the rest are Lallu Panju. Now I am twice initiated, Brahman. So then they are all puffed up. Chhati baur baar nikalti hai. No, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. We should not be like that. Very humble. Advanced devotees means most humble. And the more humble is more advanced. So, then and then, Krishna will help us at the time of death. And like I said, even when we are sleeping, in our dreams, we see so much nonsense and we leave our body, then what will happen? Then, if Krishna, at that time, if he thinks that no, we are not ready yet, then he will have to come back. But for those who have practiced Krishna consciousness seriously, sadhu sangha, sarva shastra, lava mata sadhu sangha. If we have really served a sadhu very seriously, even for one moment, with our heart and soul, then Krishna will take care of us at the time of death. Even though we are not able to chant, we are not able to speak. So that much we must have full faith. Shananga Sharanagata hoy bejar, tar prarthna sune Vrajendra Kumar. Have I satisfied? Right? Thank you very much. So we will end here. It is late. Prasadam time, book distribution time. Book distribution is important. Seva, but it should be distribution, not selling. That bhav should be there. Just a couple words about book distribution. When we approach somebody, first thing we should do is we think that you are my good friend. You need this. That bhavana. And the moment we feel like that, Paramatma is in our heart, is in the heart of the person we are approaching. That connection will come. Otherwise, that person is not even going to stop for 5 seconds. But he will wait. When we have that bhav within us, that I am your real friend, keep one small diary in your pocket. And if you manage to distribute that book, can I have your number, please? Maybe you will have some questions. I will try to get them answered if I cannot answer them. Or if you don't want to give your number, don't force anyone. Here is my number. You take it. Take a small page from a diary, put your number and put it in that Bhagavad-gita. And then that relationship, that person will feel, no, this person is very caring. He will start coming to the temple. And then he will become a part of our movement very nicely. But if we are pushy, then that averseness is created. People don't like that. One fanatic devotee I saw in Niagara Falls, take this, very good, it's about yoga. And then that person, she followed him. Finally that person gave $10, took the Bhagavad-gita. 2 steps he took and there was a big dustbin. He threw it in there. He was very upset. So we are not bhikaris. Like we are standing at the signal, Baba, 10 rupees de do na, 10 rupees de do na, and you will follow us. No, we are not that. We are their well-wishers. Surut Sarva Bhutanam. We have the quality of Krishna. We should utilize that. That I am really your friend. And if he doesn't take it, it's okay. You spoke about Bhagavad-gita, you spoke about Krishna consciousness for 1 minute, 2 minutes. That is sufficient to plant that Bhakti Lata beej in their hearts. It is not some corporate event that we have to achieve some sales target. Yes, it's a transcendental competition, but it's transcendental, not material competition like the material world, that we have a certain target. Itna sabun bechna hai. So salesman aata hai na, kam se kam mahine mein, ye, no. Bhavna rakhiye. Keep that heart. No, you will really look, my life changed. I was in the corporate world. I am IIT pass. I am engineer. I am a doctor. Some people of you all are so exalted in your material achievements. So you can, all these things. So just a few things that I thought I would share on big distribution. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Gaur Premanande, Gaur Premanande, Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna.